Hello everybody, and welcome to my channel. This is Carmen, and I am here to bring to you guys this is our second week in the hashtag acrylic pouring fun. So I'm gonna use a canvas that I had already created. This actually was my very first canvas that I ever did with acrylic pouring, but I was never really too happy with it. Although I am going to leave it as it is. I'm not going to paint over it because I think that it'll actually help some of the paint to flow off of it. So what I'm going to be doing is pretty much mixing my paint 1 to 1.5 parts of pouring medium. The pouring medium that I'm using is the Decoart pouring medium. The paints that I'm using are also acrylic paints by Decoart. And for my silicone, what I'm going to be using is a new product that I purchased. Is something that a lot of the other artists that do acrylic pouring have used and have gotten some really great results. I did a test run with this and it actually worked really well for me. It's called coconut milk and it's a hair serum. I know it's really hard to see, but it's by OGX brand. I'll leave the name down below. Maybe you can see it. Oh, where are you? A little bit better there. But it's coconut milk, and it's a hair serum that actually has the dimethicone in the, as far as one of the ingredients. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix some paints. I am gonna speed through that process, just because it is a little bit of time. It's a little time consuming to mix up all the paints and get all of that mixed in. But like I said, I'm gonna be using acrylic paints, just regular acrylic paints. I'm gonna be mixing them to 1.5 parts of pouring medium, which pretty much means I'm gonna take the equal amount of paint plus half of, in amount of the pouring medium and mix it with the 1 part paint. And then I'll probably add a little bit of water as needed to get the proper consistency. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I might just do that off camera just to save time, like I said. And then when I come back, you guys, we're gonna get ready to do some pouring. Today's technique is gonna be the napkin technique. I'm going to be using tissue to do it because I want to try something a little bit different. But you guys will see. Also, as part of this acrylic pouring fun hashtag event, this is being hosted by Teresa's Creations as well as myself. This event is pretty much open for anybody and everybody that would like to join. And there are going to be some prizes at the end of this for those that participate and actually create some acrylic pours canvases, and for those that actually comment on the videos, so on and so forth. We're going to be giving away some of our artwork. So thanks so much for being here, and I hope that you guys enjoy the video, and I'm so excited to see what's going to happen today. So hang on tight and I will be right back. All right, so more or less, just to share with you guys some of the colors that I'm going to be using in here. I have some metallic red. I still haven't gone ahead and mixed them, but I wanted to give you the colors real quick. So I have some white, which I'm going to be adding some silicone into on this pour. Got some festive red, which is a metallic paint. So I have to mix that. We also have some violet color here, which is like a purple. We have a turquoise color that's already pre-mixed. This is from a previous pour and I had some left over, so I'm just going to use up those little bits that I have left. Here we have some black. Here we have some Emperor's Golds, and here we have some bubblegum pink. And I think with the last color that I'm going to probably add to this is going to be this royal fuchsia. So this is going to be the colors that I'm going to use, and I will try to remember to link them down below. But just in case, I just wanted to get it in the video real quick. So now I'm going to get the mixing, and I'll be back when everything is mixed up and ready to go. Alright, you guys, so I have my paints already all set up and ready to go. I've got my canvas positioned more or less where the camera can hit it so we can see it. I've grabbed myself some tissue. Since we are doing the tissue technique, I grabbed myself this long sheet that I have here. And we're going to be spraying this with some water for this technique. And what we're going to do is we're first going to add our paint to our canvas, and then I'm going to be doing a napkin swipe over some areas. Depending on how I like the way it's looking, you might see me do 1 or 2 or multiple swipes with the napkins, and you'll more or less see that whole process taken down. That's the new technique that we are showcasing for this week's Pound Acrylic Pouring Fun. Remember, you're all welcome to do this, and I'll leave the information down below in case you're interested in joining in. Alright, you guys, let's get ready for the show. Thanks so much for watching, and let's get some pouring done. Alright you guys, so as I stated previously, I'm going to go ahead now and add some silicone to each one of my colors, all except the black. I did go ahead and add pretty much a few drops to all of them. Depending on how much of the paint I had, I added between 2 to 4 drops of the coconut milk serum, which is what has the silicone in it. So I'm not mixing it too many times. I'm pretty much maybe just swiping the stick maybe 3 to 4 times across the paint. And now I'm going to put my gloves on, and I'm going to pour them into a cup. So this is kind of like a dirty pour, if you will. And then I'm going to be pouring this onto the canvas. So now I'm just kind of layering all of the different colors and mixing all of the different layers of the acrylic paint, letting them all kind of dance with each other while they're inside of the cup. So some of them, pouring them from a little higher than the other ones. Some of the paints are going to sink to the bottom. Some of the paints are going to mix in with the black, like the white mixed in with the black a little bit. But it actually came out okay because it gave me a really pretty gray color. So I wasn't too upset about that. So I added the rest of my black, which did not have any silicone in it. And I just love the way that this canvas came out. So now that I've got my nice pool of black, I'm going to start kind of just playing around with it and adding all of my paints down. Now I'm going to be leaving myself somewhat of a gap at the top when I do pour it out. I don't want my paint to cover the entire canvas at the beginning. And what I'm going to do real quick is just torch it just to get any air that's trapped under there out. And I will just let you guys know I had a little bit of an issue today with my camera situation. I'm trying to get this whole thing worked out because I'm trying to film from a different angle. So I do have some episodes where my camera does get a little shaky, so I will apologize from right now. I'm not trying to make you guys dizzy, nor am I trying to give you the notion that you're on a roller coaster. I promise to have the situation down packed and corrected for the next time that I create a video. Isn't that just absolutely gorgeous? I almost wish that today was not the day we had to do the napkin. I was loving what I was seeing right from the gate. Like, it just looked so awesome. So I'm adding a little bit of that black that I have left over, and I just did a thin little line. As you can see, I didn't cover the entire canvas. And now I'm going to go ahead and add more of that white in there. Alright you guys, so what I've done so far is that I've gone ahead and layered my colors in. Now I've added some of the black that did not have any silicone in it. I just added what was left and I made a quick little strip across the top. Then what I did is on this last little piece right here, I've gone ahead and added some of the white that I did mix some of the silicone in. And what we're going to do now is grab our napkin. I'm going to spray it down, and you're going to see me more or less create a swipe across kind of technique using the napkin. So just wanted to come in and tell you guys that real quick. So enjoy. So the tissue that I'm using is pretty much tissue that was sent to me actually with some Happy Meal that I received, and I tried to save all of those really nice tissue papers. I wanted to see if I can do it with something other than a napkin, because I had already tried the napkin independently and I did love it. But I wanted to see if I can also get the same kind of result with using another type of tissue paper. And luckily, yes, I did. Now, some of you guys might wonder, like, why would they layer all of those colors down and then go ahead and go over it with more paint? Isn't that going to kind of cover everything that you have going on in the background? And that is a yes and a no. More or less, as you guys can see, there is an abundance of cells happening there. And what tends to happen is all of those little cells will reveal some of the color that is trapped underneath. So it kind of gives it almost like a mosaic kind of look, is the best way that I can describe it. Now my canvas per se will not end up the way that it is looking now. It is going to go through many levels of change, which you guys will see. And I personally am a person that I cannot just let things be. I'm very impatient when it comes to painting, and I just can't leave it alone. So I do go ahead and add more color to it and do the same technique and swipe it over. Now what ends up happening here is that I end up inadvertently mixing more of the color, which was not necessarily what I wanted to do, but ends up becoming a consequence of, you know, kind of mixing the paint out. But overall, I still am extremely happy with the results, and I definitely will try this technique again without adding some of the extra steps that I added today. So as you can see, the silicone kind of starts breaking apart some of the different layers. Since all of the paints themselves have silicone, it kind of creates like a barrier between colors, and it doesn't allow it to blend as much as they would if you was just to put straight silicone, not silicone, straight acrylic paint, you know, layering straight acrylic paint one on top of the other. They will definitely mix and create mud. But because you have that silicone barrier, it actually allows for some of that paint to kind of break apart. Now the paint that did blend was the black, because the black did not have any silicone in it. And for a future one, I will most likely add silicone to all of my colors except whatever color I am pouring onto. But every other subsequent color, even if I am reusing the same color again, I will be adding silicone to it just to get more of the breakdown in the cells. Because as you can see, my the evolution of the cells themselves started to kind of change, and they went from being really big and very visible to start to kind of like break down and become smaller with every swipe, with every new technique that I introduced to the canvas. I don't know, guys. Once I get myself started, I don't know how to stop. And I just love seeing all of the different effects as they're happening, so I just kept doing more and kept doing more and kept doing more. Now again, I'm extremely satisfied with the overall result of the canvas. I think thus far it is probably one of my best ones. I would love to hear what you guys think from the ones that I have shared with you guys so far. I think from when I very first started, I've learned a little bit more about the control of the paint, although I still don't have it down to a science yet, you guys. I have to get myself like an independent kind of measuring cup so that I can measure the exact amount of ounces that I need per canvas size. This is a pretty large canvas. I think it's 11 by 14 if I'm not mistaken, so it's a pretty larger canvas. But yes, I absolutely love it. I love it, love it, love it. Even though it ended up changing and evolving because of my inability to have idle hands, I think that it came out awesome. So what you guys kind of see me doing is I ripped up little bits and pieces of the tissue, and I went into it to kind of create some kind of a pattern, some kind of a design, which is totally something that you can do with the napkins. You don't have to always use the humongous sheet or a large section. You can definitely break them up into smaller pieces and actually create more of a design, you know, in smaller areas. And that's kind of what you will see me do throughout most of this. I was really enjoying that. The only downside that I do see is that my napkin, the way that it absorbed water, it was like drenched. A regular napkin, like a bounty roll or something like that, hand towels, they will absorb the water a little bit better, so they kind of wick out a little bit. This one, wherever you spray it, like it held the water right there, like it didn't wick out, which I found it kind of strange, but in a way kind of awesome, especially for like this kind of thing. So I love the way that the end that I just did turned out so much that I'm like, you know what, Carmen, do it to the other side, do it to the other side, because of course I just cannot leave well enough alone. So I start doing it to the other side. But come on, you guys, look at those awesome cells. I finally figured out how to do it with and get some cells out of it. All of the silicones that I have tried thus far did not produce this amount of cells. And I've tried at least 3 or 4 different kinds of silicones, even 100% pure silicone, and it did not produce the same results. Although it could be my own fault, so I will not rule it out completely. I will do a comparison video at some point where I will be showing you guys more or less the silicones that I have compared to the coconut milk. Let's see which one gives us a better result. And I have a few little canvases that I'm going to be doing that testing with, so be out the lookout for that. But yes, I'm just having so much fun, you guys. And I figured I'd talk you guys through this part of through this video. I know I didn't talk you guys through the other video, but I wanted to talk you guys through this video. Let me know if this is something that you like for me to do as far as the talking through the whole process. I was actually able to do it today. Yay! So as you guys can see, every time that you swipe it, it reveals, like, it opens up, it reveals trapped air. The silicone kind of starts to create a new layer of separation. You can also achieve something similar with using like a spatula or something like that, or a very wide, let's say, popsicle stick, like the tongue depressors, I think they're called. You can achieve something very similar because it's about wiping over the top and revealing. And you want to do this in the most gentlest of ways because you don't want to pick up the paint and actually move that paint. So you want to allow it to sit right at the top and just very gingerly, very slowly, not applying any pressure at all, just allow that napkin to kind of glide right over the top. That way it's only touching that layer of paint that you added right in the top, and it's not really pulling up none of the layers in the bottom because you can't create mud that way. So once I did my napkin technique, you guys, what I did start to do is play around with some of the leftover paints that I had in the cup, and I started kind of going into it and adding more colors here and there. I started to add more of a pattern, and the end result is going to be completely different. Now, I'm not sure if I was able to film the end result or if I stopped the video, but either way, I will have pictures of what the actual canvas looks like at the end on my Instagram tomorrow, and I will also I'll be sharing it on my Instagram, and then I will do a follow-up video once it's all dry and share with you guys what that canvas actually looks like you know, afterwards. I've taken a lot of pictures of what it looks like you know, at the point that I stopped finally, and I'll be able to see if anything new kind of appeared and happened overnight, because these canvases, when it comes to the silicone, as the silicone starts moving closer to the surface, they do sometimes add more cells, sometimes they change, sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do. But I am absolutely loving it. I think for the next video I'm going to go back to my overhead view for these kinds of projects, and then I'll just move to a side angle view when I'm doing paper crafting and things of that nature, or other kinds of projects, because I think that you guys would have probably been able to appreciate the canvas and everything that was happening on it a little bit better if I had the top view going as opposed to having it here from the side. But I'm adding some of the other colors, some of the colors that kind of disappeared in the process, like the metallic red, some of the gold. I also reintroduced into it some of the teal color that I put in there. It's kind of like a teal color, turquoise teal, something like that. It's a little bit on the lighter side, but I start kind of introducing some of these colors back in, and that's when the pattern started to kind of emerge. I started thinking of like an octopus, so I started to make like what appeared to me like you know, like these tentacles kind of coming out from, like, you know, the recesses of the under the sea type of scenario. Yes, I did go there. So you guys might be able to see that somewhat. Again, I don't guarantee it because I did stop the camera and start the camera a few times while I was doing all of this, and then it was time for me to move it to its final resting place to dry. So I will come back with a video share of all the canvases that I have thus far. I do have quite a few. Some of them I have gone ahead and painted over, but I do have quite a few left, and I'm definitely enjoying this, so I'll definitely be making more. We have, let's see, this is our second week, so we have three more techniques that we're going to be doing, three more canvases that we're going to be creating, and I think, yes, I should be good to go with the canvases. So we'll have three more canvases to go, or three more projects, I should say. I'm not going to call them all canvases because they're not all canvases. But we have three more projects to go. Our videos get uploaded every Thursday, and you're more than welcome to join in and see the technique that we've showcased on that Thursday. And if you're looking into trying something that's more on the economical side, you can go and check out Crafts and More with Donna Jackson. She's joining us. She's one of the participants for the acrylic pouring fun, and she actually did her very first canvas with Dollar Tree items. So Dollar Tree sells acrylic paints. They also sell a silicone based spray that you can use. They also sell the canvases, you guys, and the popsicle sticks and the cups and the napkins. They sell it all. So if you want to do this on a budget, you can definitely do that. Also Walmart, if you have a Walmart next to you, they have really inexpensive paints. And a lot of other stores also sell really inexpensive acrylic paints. So you don't have to necessarily do this crazy, with a crazy budget. 3 or 4 paints, a white, a black, and like 2 or 3 colors, and you're good to go. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this process. This has been a lot of fun. I cannot wait to share with you guys next week's projects. I hope that you will all join us. Remember, there are cash prizes as well as some of our artwork is going to be be given away in the giveaways. So thanks so much for watching. I hope that you subscribe. Have an awesome day, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye.